Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, Executive Director of the Central and Northern New York chapter of the American Red Cross. Welcome to our 23rd annual Real Heroes Breakfast. Honoring real heroes reflects the mission of the Red Cross to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. The Red Cross shelters, feeds, and provides emotional support to victims of disasters, supplies about 80% of the blood in our community, teaches skills that save lives, provides international humanitarian aid, and supports military members, veterans, and their families. 90% of the Red Cross workforce are volunteers. Here in our chapter, I'm grateful for the 700 volunteers who provide essential programs and services throughout the year. In a few moments, we'll meet this year's Real Heroes. Thank you to CNY Central and Spectrum News for producing the video profiles of our heroes. Our MCs, Melanie Johnson of CNY Central and Janine McBride of Spectrum News, will be introducing the segments, and we will also hear from our award sponsors. I also want to thank Visual Technologies for producing today's presentation. We appreciate everyone's time and effort to make today's virtual event possible. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, I'm Jim Stoddard with Haler Farrer & Kuhn, and I'm here to award the Lifeline Hero Award for 2021. This year's award goes to Nathan Buston of Clay. Nathan was 13 years old when he saved his mother during a car ride when she became unresponsive. His quick thinking led him to steer their car to safety and call 911. On behalf of Haler Farrer & Kuhn and the American Red Cross, please join me in congratulating our hero, Nathan, who is the recipient of this year's Lifeline Hero Award.
We begin today's Real Heroes presentation with our Lifeline Award. What started as a normal car ride turned into a scary and harrowing experience for Nathan Buston and his mom, Lisa. Everything was fine until Lisa passed out. That's when Nathan came to the rescue. It was a car ride home from hockey practice. 13-year-old Nathan Buston will never forget.
As we were getting on Route 11, there was a truck coming right as we were about to get on, and my whole life just flashed.
An allergic reaction turned into a medical emergency while his mom was driving down Interstate 481 the night of January 3rd, 2021.
That's when she lost consciousness, and I could tell because I looked over at her and her head was just leaning back right towards her seat.
I just blacked out.
Determined to save their lives, Nathan took control of the steering wheel and called 911 as his mom was passed out behind the wheel.
Had I been alone, it could have been a lot worse. So I'm just so grateful that he was with me.
Unable to reach the brakes to come to a stop, Nathan had no other choice. He crashed into an oncoming truck.
All the airbags went off, everything smoke in the car.
He then mustered up the strength to escape and ran to the driver's side to rescue his mom, pulling her out of the smoke.
I'm just so, grateful that we are alive.
In the face of life or death, this son's love for his mother prevailed. Nathan Buston is this year's Red Cross Lifeline Real Hero.
I love you.
Love you, Mom.
Hello, I'm Evelyn Ingram, Director of Community Engagement for the Syracuse Division of Wegmans Food Markets. One of our company values is to make a difference in every community that we serve, and it's my responsibility to ensure we are doing just that. Partnerships with organizations like the American Red Cross enable us to make good on our values. We applaud the commitment and the service the American Red Cross brings to communities across our nation, including right here in our neighborhood, in your neighborhood. Today, as a representative of the 50,000 plus Wegmans employees, I stand here proud to be a sponsor of this year's Real Heroes Breakfast, presenting the Good Neighbor Award. Congratulations to a real hero, a real good neighbor, Maddie Alcock of Cicero, New York. It was fate that intervened and enabled Maddie to be a hero. Maddie, on behalf of the American Red Cross and Wegmans Food Markets, we salute you and we extend congratulations to you, the recipient of this year's American Red Cross Good Neighbor Award. Thank you for your heroism.
Maddie Alcock was babysitting when she noticed the 6-month-old boy was clearly in distress. While trying to comfort him, the baby stopped breathing. Maddie, however, successfully performed CPR and is being honored as our good neighbor, real hero.
Sunny is just 7 months old.
Bless you, Ian.
On March 20th,
oh, hi.
The unthinkable happened.
Right over there behind that chair.
16-year-old Cicero North Syracuse High School student Maddie Alcock was watching little Sunny.
Yeah. He started screaming, crying, like really intense screaming, but crying at the same time, and he just like instantly stopped. Boop, boop.
He stopped crying because he stopped breathing.
Yeah. And I looked down, and his face and lips were like blue and really pale.
Maddie sprung into action.
It was natural instinct to just put him on the ground and start CPR. Like, that's just what my body told me to do in that moment. And so, what I'm very thankful for, because he might not have been here if I didn't do that.
For 2 to 3 minutes, she did what she learned in her high school first aid class and her babysitting course.
He started crying and just like very odd and confused, and he was like looking around like what happened.
She had already called 911.
Down in the hall was like where the paramedics met us. They're just like congratulating me and thanking me and stuff. And they're like, you saved him. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that.
Hi, my name is John Marafa, and I'm the president of Kinney Drugs. The mission of Kinney Drugs is to help people live healthier lives through health and wellness initiatives. We are delighted to be a sponsor of the Red Cross Real Heroes Breakfast because they, like us, help people in our community live safe and healthy lives. Whether they are training people in CPR or life-saving water rescue or collecting and redistributing life-saving blood, the Red Cross is here to help. Please join with me in congratulating the 2022 Law Enforcement Hero Awards to Tyler Williams and Harold Gonzalez of the Camillus Police Department.
Police came to the rescue during a dangerous fire. Camillus police officers Tyler Williams and Harold Gonzalez were the first on scene and without hesitation rushed in to help. What happened next has earned them the honor today of Law Enforcement Real Heroes.
Camillus police officers Harold Gonzalez and Tyler Williams were out on a call in August when they got reports of a burning building in Warner's.
When I got there, I initially saw Officer Gonzalez running towards the house. I looked up and I could see in the attic of the residence, I could see flames coming out of the residence. And there was a male yelling that there was people possibly inside.
Gonzalez and Williams rushed inside, looking for the homeowners.
2 people inside the house were completely asleep. They had no idea that there was a fire going on right above their heads.
The first door we knocked on, one of the residents, he came out, had no idea, was sound asleep. So we asked him if there was anyone else. He said, yeah, his landlord was also in there. So he pointed down the hall that his landlord was in there. So we went in, we banged on his landlord's door. No one was answering. So we made entry into that residence. And as we went through, he was in his bed asleep. So we woke him up and we escorted both of them outside.
Well, we got really lucky where it didn't, flash over as we were in there, and we were able to get them out just in time.
Had we just waited for the fire department, potentially, there could have been lives lost.
The officers used their instincts to save the people inside.
It was rewarding, I mean, we signed up this job to help people ultimately.
For us, it was kind of like another call. We weren't really it didn't really click in our heads like, hey, that could have been really bad.
Officers Gonzalez and Williams believe
everyone has the ability to be a hero.
And for their courage, they have been named the Red Cross Law Enforcement Real Heroes.
Hi, my name is Mark Mecker from Lockheed Martin, and I am the Program Director of the Army Radars portfolio here in Syracuse. Our long-standing partnership with the American Red Cross is vital to our community's health and well-being. The American Red Cross's mission prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies, and closely aligns with our mission at Lockheed Martin to protect our citizens and those defending our country. We are honored to be presenting the Military Hero Award to Rich and Michelle Senek for their incredible work with veterans.
Since 2009, Feed Our Vets has provided free food assistance to more than 30,000 veterans and their families, giving out over 2 million pounds of food. The organization operates in cities and towns across the United States, but we are proud to say they call the Mohawk Valley home. Now let's learn more from founders Rich and Michelle Sinek, also known as today's Military Real Heroes.
We've had a wonderful holiday season. This is just some of everything that's been donated.
We had about 900 pounds of hams donated from Hannaford's right here in New Hartford. We have more refrigerators and freezers in there. It's big what we do here.
Everything's marked so that when it needs to be put on the shelf, we know what it is.
Feed Our Vets started when I was a postmaster in Vernon Center. One of my customers, Mr. B, he was a World War II vet. He'd just come in every week or two to buy one stamp. That's all I can afford. And after several months of that, in December of 2005, he came in and, hey, Mr. B, give me one stamp, Rich. That's all I can afford. And out of nowhere, I just asked him, at least you have food in the house. And he didn't answer me. So I just knew there was a problem with food insecurities. So we got him a box of food. After several months of that, I just asked him, I said, if you know any of your fellow vets that need help, have them come to the post office and, we'll take care of them. And that's how Feed Our Vets started to grow. Places, everyone. Try to keep 6 feet apart or 5 feet 12 inches, your choice. How you doing, young man? Okay, nice and warm out there, huh? Oh, yeah. All right. Semper Fi. And then it just grew too much where it was costing my wife and I right around $1,500 to $2,000 a month to buy the food and to deliver it and all that stuff. We decided to become a nonprofit in February of '09.
Under or over 65. Okay, here's your card.
Since 2009, we've fed just over 35,000 vets. We've given out over 2.8 million pounds of food and almost $190,000 worth of Walmart gift cards.
Okay? Oh. All right. So, okay, keep looking. I'm just giving you a bunch of those. Hands are going to be awfully.
And these people do this because of their passion to help out vets and to help them and put food on their tables. So it's pretty amazing. You can't ask for a better volunteer force than what we have at Feed Our Vets.
Blocks, the squeezy, like all kinds of mustard, ketchup.
We have a table upstairs about helping vets that have psychological issues, mental issues, PTSD, and stuff like that.
There's 22 of us dying every day.
Yeah, I know.
We have to help each other. And at this point, we're just brothers and sisters from another mother.
That's right.
Oh, did you see? I threw them in there, Fran.
This recognition from the Red Cross is just unbelievable, and we truly appreciate it. It means a lot to us, and hopefully we can use this recognition to advance Feed Our Vets. You like that seltzer? Take it. Okay, you got it. The vets will back their cars up, and we unload the cars for them, and then we help them load up their groceries in the car. So, a little extra for the vets.
Bye-bye. Good morning. My name is Kirk Wolfgang, and I'm the Associate Director of Environment, Health, and Safety for Bristol-Myers Squibb Company in Syracuse, New York. We are delighted to be a sponsor of the Red Cross Real Heroes Breakfast because of the work the Red Cross does to provide blood supply to our local hospitals and community. Every day, blood donors help patients of all ages, accident and burn victims, heart surgery and organ transplant patients, and those battling cancer. Please join me in congratulating our hero, Danielle Lowe, who is the recipient of the Blood Services Hero Award.
Danielle Lau is a regular at local blood drives. She donates life-saving blood whenever she can and is passionate about encouraging others to join her. Here's Danielle to tell her story as she becomes our Blood Services Real Hero.
Let me just swing by and see if I can give. I got nothing else going on today, why not? It's a 10-minute drive from home to here. So Sunday morning, hour out of my time, no big deal, you know? I hate to sound so blasé about it, but that's kind of how it is for me, you know what I mean? I'm just your average country girl who gives up an hour every 8 weeks to just spread a little bit of me out there. My name is Danielle Lau. Realistically, I've been doing it pretty steadily for about 15, 16 years. My last donation was my 9-gallon mark, which was a huge accomplishment for me, and people that know me were really excited for me that I hit that mark. Like my friend kept saying, it's a huge deal, and I'm like, but for me, it's something easy that I can do. It's an hour out of my day. It doesn't inconvenience me. Why not do it? especially knowing that I'm O negative and the need for the O blood, you know. So O negative blood is your universal donor. If you were ever in a car accident or something and you end up in the emergency room and they don't know what your blood type is, I'm the girl they go to give you blood. My blood is what they use. I can go to anybody. It's just something easy for us to do. You know, it doesn't bother me to be stuck. It doesn't, you know, the hour that it takes to do this, why not? Why not? When I was 10 years old, I had to have emergency surgery, and I had to have blood transfusions. And thinking about it now, I'm like, thank God people gave, you know, that there was kind enough people out there to do that were willing to do that. So for me, like, I'm like, I know, me personally, it doesn't really impact me per se, you know what I mean? It doesn't inconvenience me, it doesn't whatever, but to somebody else, it can make a huge difference to them, and it's kind of nice knowing that in the back of my mind. Something so easy for me to do can be so positive for somebody else. To me, in my mind, I'm just doing something so simple that why aren't more people doing it? You know, it's literally an hour of your time. Just give up a pint and go on with your day and you're good. It's just an easy give in my mind.
We'll resume our award presentation shortly, but first I am proud to introduce Rob Bishop. As a member of our board of directors, Rob has dedicated much of his time and talent to supporting the mission of the Red Cross. In particular, he's been strongly committed to blood services as chair and longtime member of our Biomed Committee. For the Bishop family, the critical need for life-saving blood products has hit home.
In May of 2021, my 17-year-old son Isaac was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. This is an aggressive and rare pediatric bone cancer that affects approximately 200 children per year. What we thought was a skiing injury to his left leg turned out to be a tumor in his fibula. Less than 2 weeks after learning of his diagnosis, he was starting treatment. His treatment consisted of 5 different chemotherapies given on a rotating basis. He was in the hospital or clinic a minimum of 8 days a month for chemo, 6 days for blood work, anti-nausea meds, and transfusions as needed. And they had many doctor's appointments, including x-rays, CAT scans, and surgeries as well. I want to describe for you a typical chemo experience each month. We would check in at the clinic, get a COVID test, do his blood work, figure out his stats, and understand if he was ready to start chemo. Sometimes there was a delay. If his blood work wasn't good, he had to get a transfusion. Sometimes we had some other delays for logistics reasons. We had to transfer up to the Children's Hospital from the clinic. From there was routine monitoring and stats. One of his chemos required a check every 15 minutes from a nurse. He also had to get a shot to stimulate his bone marrow once he was home. And fortunately, my wife took care of those. He had antibiotics every weekend to prevent pneumonia, temperature checks every couple of hours to make sure he wasn't developing an infection, consistent nausea and frequent vomiting. Monitoring for signs of a blood transfusion was very important to us. He had developed pale lips, weakness, dizziness, very cranky, overall difficulties. He got nosebleeds and bruising. And those were all indications we needed to come in for a blood transfusion. When we go to the clinic, we got to realize what was happening and how he was feeling, and that a blood transfusion was necessary. The nurses would take the blood work and we would confirm that our thoughts were correct. It wouldn't take very long after a blood transfusion for him to feel better. Usually about 15 minutes, and you could see it in him and hear it in his voice, how much better he felt. His spirits and strengths were lifted. His body was recharged to keep fighting. We had a lot of challenges. On several occasions, Isaac's blood levels were low enough that he needed 2 units of blood, but supplies were low and he was only able to get 1. On a couple of other occasions, he needed a transfusion, but the supply was so low that the units of blood were reserved for surgeries and critical cases and Isaac was not able to get a transfusion. When your child has cancer and they're doing everything they need and going through all the treatment that is frankly brutal, the last thing you want to hear is that a critical product like blood isn't available for them. It breaks your heart to have to look at them and say, we'll come back tomorrow and see if we can get a transfusion then. Knowing they will not have the energy to do anything but sleep until then. Isaac ended up receiving 5 units of platelets, 24 units of red blood cells over his 7 months of treatment. The Red Cross has many missions that are important to me. But this last year, my connection to the blood supply has motivated me to do all I can do to get the word out about those specific needs. Kids like Isaac need your blood and platelet donations. The people at the Red Cross that make the donations available to people like my son need your support too. That support can be your blood, your time, or your financial donation. Today you have an opportunity to make a financial donation, but keep in mind that the needs continue and your ongoing support is also needed. Please choose to support the American Red Cross in any way you can. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Rob, for sharing your story, and we appreciate all that you do for the Red Cross. We extend our best wishes to Isaac and your entire family. Now let's meet more of our heroes.
Hi, I'm John Marafa, president of Kinney Drugs. I am proud to be here today to help celebrate the local heroes in our community, people who step forward in critical situations and help others. On behalf of the American Red Cross and Kinney Drugs, I wish to present the 2022 Fire Rescue Hero Award to Jonathan May, a member of the Syracuse Fire Department. Let's hear his story.
In May 2021, an apartment caught fire in Syracuse. Firefighter Jonathan May was one of the first to rush to the scene, and when he arrived, he found several people in windows calling for help. The complicated and dangerous rescue is why he's been named this year's Fire Rescue Real Hero.
Syracuse firefighter Jonathan May got the call of an apartment fire near the station and quickly rushed to the scene.
We were the second unit on scene. When we got there was a lot of smoke, and we immediately noticed a bunch of people in their apartment still couldn't get out.
That's when the team took action, grabbing people out of windows. May noticed a man trapped in the apartment right above the fire.
We grabbed the ladder off of engine 3, put it to his second, it was like a first/second story window, and had him start coming out.
Until the fire began to flash over, blowing to where May was rescuing the victim.
Made the decision to put him back inside the apartment until the fire was put out by engine 3. At that point, we went back up and we were able to get him out.
The rescue stands out to May due to the number of people rescued and that everyone survived.
It happened really quick, so I took some time to reflect on it, talked about it with my crew and everything, and I think the whole department did an amazing job at that fire.
When asked what he thinks about being called a hero,
I think the heroes are each and every member of this fire department. No one person in particular. It's a group effort, and the department is the hero. There's no real individual standouts in the fire department. Everybody works as a team to get everything done. If one group of people aren't doing their job, then another group can't get their job done.
He is humbled to represent his department as the Red Cross Firefighter Real Hero.
Hello, I'm Alberto Bianchetti, Central New York Regional Director for National Grid. At National Grid, we understand what it means for the communities we serve to count on us, both on blue sky days and when emergencies hit. That's what makes our partnership with the Red Cross so meaningful. From running day-to-day blood services to emergency and disaster relief programs, the Red Cross is there for Central New York in good times and in bad. Exactly what we expect from a partner and a friend. Please join me in hearing the story of Adult Good Samaritan Hero Award winner, Callie Taggart of Baldwinsville, who also rose to the occasion when a crisis was at hand.
Today's adult Good Samaritan real hero was driving along an overpass when she noticed a woman standing on the edge, clearly thinking about hurting herself. Callie Taggart did not just drive by. She turned around in what would end up being a life-saving decision. Don't do it. It's not worth it. These are the words of Callie Taggart to a young woman who wanted to take her own life. Callie was on her way to make a food delivery when she saw a distraught 27-year-old woman ready to jump off of a highway bridge, standing over Interstate 481. It was then Callie got out of her car to physically stop the woman from committing suicide. She pulled the woman down and off the overpass. Callie Taggart's life-saving actions is why she is this year's Red Cross Adult Good Samaritan Real Hero.
Hi, I'm Luke Fagan, Senior Vice President of Community Bank here in Syracuse, New York. We're proud to have sponsored the American Red Cross's Real Heroes Breakfast for the past 18 years, a testament to this organization's incredible work here in Central New York, nationwide, and worldwide in providing disaster relief, life-saving blood, and services to our armed forces, as well as many other valuable programs and community support initiatives. You can find out more about the Red Cross's mission at www.redcross.org. Today's heroes represent our fellow neighbors and friends in Central New York who are helping other people in times of need. Please help me congratulate Christina Donegan of Constantia, who is receiving our Medical Hero Award on behalf of a group of honorees. Let's hear their story.
Our medical heroes were relaxing on Oneida Lake when a horrific boating accident happened right in front of them, seriously injuring 2 people. Without hesitation, they sprang into action, providing first aid and performing CPR until rescue boats arrived. These people are all heroes, with backgrounds ranging from EMTs, volunteer firefighters, nursing students, and Army Reserve members. We sat down and spoke with the group, and now here's Christina Donegan and the rest of her family's story.
This is our first year having a boat. My son's had one for a couple of years now, and we decided to get a boat so we could hang out with our kids in the summer, you know? And so I think it was only our second or third time out on the boat. So we were still pretty new at the whole boating thing, so it was pretty empty out in the bay, so it was nice. And then it happened.
All of a sudden there was a really loud crash, and looked over and there was a pretty morbid scene.
A jet ski versus a fishing boat, 1 patient in the water, unable to be accounted for.
Jet ski hit a bass boat.
All of a sudden we heard the impact of the accident, and kind of everyone just hopped into like survival gear mode instantly where we got going.
I just, started yelling, get life jackets, get moving, go, go, go.
We just took off. There wasn't really I don't remember any thoughts in my head at that point in time.
There wasn't a decision. It was just,
yeah, there wasn't really any hesitation.
It was instinct. It wasn't, there's no, should I do this? Or it was just time to go.
Immediately everyone was in gear.
I saw everybody go out there, and to be honest with you, if I was by myself, I probably wouldn't have. But I saw those guys doing what they were doing, and Danny's yelling at me to get, get over there, because I was trying not to throw up. I'm like, oh, I don't do good with this kind of thing, but it was all right, and, they helped. It felt good to actually do something like that.
At first, we thought there was only 1 patient.
Erica jumped up on the boat. Colin helped me lift him up out of the water. Me and Colin were in the water pushing up. Erica was up on the boat pulling by the life jacket. We managed to get him onto the boat. I climbed up there. Wasn't really prepared for the trauma that we ran into. Me and Erica started providing aid to him.
So once we got him over, I remember the guy saying that his leg felt kind of funny, and then he goes to move it out of the water, and we quickly realized that this was about to be really serious if we didn't act quickly and get him up there.
I mean, a missing leg, there's a lot more involved because you're losing the femoral artery runs through your leg, and you're losing a lot of blood very quickly. So there was a much higher chance that he was gonna die quicker.
When I look at everybody, as mom, I'm just so proud of these guys.
I've never experienced anything like this, and I know for everybody else that it's a little bit different walking up on a scene and knowing what you're going into and getting that information prior to being there. But when you're there, it happens, you see it in front of you. It's kind of shocking, and I still get that shock to this day when I think about it. I wouldn't want to live it again, but I'm glad this was the group that was there.
Hi, I'm Jim Sauter Jr. from Haler Fire & Kuhn, and I'm here to present the Burnett D. Bud Haler Community Service Award presented by Haler Fire & Kuhn. Included in Haler Fire & Kuhn's mission statement is the phrase, "We will continue to support the communities we serve." Among the many organizations that Bud supported, he was a passionate supporter and contributor to the American Red Cross, serving on their board of directors and as chairman of the Red Cross County Disaster Response Committee for 25 years. Bud first introduced me and a number of Haler Fire & Kuhn employees to the Real Heroes Breakfast many years ago, and we continue to enjoy this event each year. Bud retired from Haler Fire & Kuhn on August 31st, 1990. Through Bud's commitment to our local communities, his specific commitment to the Red Cross, and the tremendous work that the American Red Cross provides to those in need throughout our community, Haler Fire & Kuhn is proud to recognize this year's Community Service Award recipient for their support and service to Central New York. The Burnett D. Bud Haler Community Service Award for 2021 recognizes Hassan Stevens and the Good Life Youth Foundation. Let's hear their story now.
His name is Hassan Stevens, but you might know him as DJ Maestro. He started the Good Life Foundation to help fight youth violence, poverty, and more through music. His good work with Good Life is why he's this year's Community Service Real Hero.
This is not a job to us. This is actually a calling in a life.
Hassan Stevens is the founder and executive director of the Good Life Youth Foundation.
We are in the trenches and we work with a population that many people are not ready and willing to work with, but that's where we thrive.
His nonprofit takes him into the streets, finding young people from 13 years old to 24 and giving them a chance to make it out of poverty and hopelessness.
At the end of the day, if they can just see us as friends, as big brothers, as family members that want them to do well, I'll take that.
These are the parts of the 315 making national headlines. Forbes ranking Syracuse the 4th poorest city in the country in 2021.
If we don't see every kid move and shift and grow, we don't celebrate. Like, there's no time for celebration because we have to try to get every child.
Hassan, aka DJ Maestro, and his team are using the power of hip-hop to save lives.
Drawing the kids and attracting their attention through the culture that they identify with and that they love.
Even opening the Good Life printing shop to show at-risk youth how to start a business.
Entrepreneurship itself means to take charge of yourself, and that's what we want the kids to be able to do.
But it's the ones who have made bad choices and are behind bars that Hassan says remind him that his work is not done.
We're waiting for them when they come home. We had 2 kids right now that are emailing and writing us, and from incarceration, and they're just like, all right, my mind's ready, I'm there. And we have to embrace them knowing that they still might make another mistake, but we have to be there for them.
For him, these will be the success stories that are the perfect verse over a tight beat.
My name is Hassan Stevens, and I am the Red Cross Community Service Real Hero.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Roth, an audit partner with Danable and McKee. Our firm has been supporting the American Red Cross and the Real Heroes Breakfast for many years because we believe in their mission and continuing the tradition of honoring our heroes in our community. Today, I am privileged to present this year's Youth Good Samaritan Hero Award recipient Emma Wells, who at only 5 years old showed extraordinary bravery beyond her age to help save her mother's life. Emma, on behalf of Danable and McKee, we are delighted to present you with this award. Congratulations.
We close out today's presentation of Heroes with our youngest recipient. Emma Wells was 5 years old when she was enjoying a day at home with her mom, and suddenly her mom started having a seizure. With quick thinking, Emma found her mom's phone and called her grandmother for help. See, memorizing numbers still comes in handy. For her life-saving actions, Emma is our Youth Good Samaritan.
So we were relaxing in bed. I was watching my tablet. She was on her phone, and then she just screamed, and then I knew something was happening, so I called my grandma, and then she always answers when I call her, so then I called her, and then she answered right away, and then I told her what happened, and then she sent people.
I am just so proud of what she did.
I just knew to call somebody.
She knew enough to do it, kept calm in a stressful situation at that young of age, and even down the road, like, she's still very humble, and when somebody says, like, oh, you did this or did that, like, what would anybody do?
When she got up and stuff, I told her what happened, and then she was like, that did not happen, and then I just called Nana and stuff like that.
Once I have a seizure, it takes a while to remember things. So a couple days later when they were telling me, I'm like, oh my God, Emma did this. Emma called for help. I just couldn't believe it, but I'm very proud. She's my hero. So very proud of her.
You know, so it's the fact that she did what she did. She knows how important it was, and that she's still humble moving forward, and would do it over again if she needed to.
I am very proud of her. Once they told me what happened, I was nervous and scared because I didn't want her to go through that or see all that. She did a very good job staying calm, getting help, waiting for help to get there.
I was very proud and impressed with how she acted.
I am Emma Wells. I am the Red Cross Real Heroes Youth Good Samaritan. When I get older, I want to help people like my mom.
Emma's a hero.
Especially mine.
This concludes our 23rd annual Real Heroes Breakfast. I want to extend my appreciation to Board Member Rob Bishop for sharing his compelling story, as well as the events volunteer committee chaired by Deb Sabello, Red Cross staff, and all of our sponsors who work to make this possible. And of course, congratulations to our heroes. Your stories are amazing, and you all deserve our gratitude. For everyone who is watching today, please consider rolling up your sleeves and giving blood, giving your talents by volunteering, and giving your dollars to support all that we do. The Red Cross cannot achieve its mission without you. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and be well.